Your first agent should be one agent, not 5. Most teams start way too complex when a single LLM with a few tools would do the job in 10th of the code. In this session, you will see what single agent actually does, where does it shine, and what are the signals that you should look for to decide when to move on for better and more complex pattern. Let's understand using a very simple example. A user asks for a trip plan. No routing layer, no orchestrator, no pipeline, just one agent that owns the whole thing. The trip planner agent reads the request, picks the tools to call, and the LLM controls the path. Not your code, because it's not deterministic. That's what makes it true single agent. The agent calls search attraction first, this time, but here is the key. What about next time? It might call weather first, or it may call restaurants. The model decide, and the decision can change based on inputs, prompt, or run to run on different circumstances. Now it searched for restaurants. You didn't tell it to do the second. It just decide to, and that's a flexibility. It's a strength for simple tasks. Weather data gives you context that reshape your whole plan. For a trip planner like this, the one agent is all you need. It can shift fast, iterate fast. The agent combines everything into the one trip plan. Minimal writing, fast iteration, and that's the payoff you are after. But here is a cost. If the tasks grow more complex, you slowly start losing control over the order and execution. That means the reliability starts dropping. So why go with this single agent? Because it's ridiculously simple. 5 to 10 line of config, LLM addocs, whatever the request we throw at it, not many code changes required. If you want to add a new capability, just register a new tool. No pipeline to need structure. For straightforward tasks, this is genuinely all you need. So let's understand in a practical terms, how does it work? And after that, we'll see the signals. And the server is already running. So we got a server, we got a client, and a utility to run the whole example. And the code is checked into GitHub, and link is available in the description. The server is already running, so I'm just gonna run the client. And we'll see the print here. Got it. So discover the agent, and let's wait what it does. It will go for 2 queries, and it is connecting using a local Ollama. So we have our responses, and you can see it's pretty much detailed, and it did call 3 different tooling to make sure attraction, restaurants, and weather, and it was just using Ollama for the LLM purposes. So let's go back to our presentation there. Now, here is when it breaks. Your instruction become too complex in terms of tokens, in terms of reasoning for LLM to lose focus, and it start conflicting with the guidelines that you provide. So in that case, you need to look for more complex agent pattern which can break the reasoning part and allow LLM to excel at its best of ability. And at that time, you might want to move from this simple method to a little bit more complex, which can handle the complexity of the given task. The other signal that I would look for is input consistency. So when you provide same input for a couple of times, and you see the tool calling sequences and the other reliable order of execution is becoming little consistent, then I think it's a very good time to understand that we might need a more complex pattern to given the task. And the third one which I look for is the same thing in a slightly different way. When it start to skip call, when it start to repeating the same errors again and again by skipping multiple steps and let the error compound. And that's when you see, yes, it is time to go for a better pattern. And this is where you then decide which next pattern might be the best use case for yourself. So that's SQL pattern. It's very simple. One LLM, multiple tools, model calling the shots, and it's the right default. To start with agentic AI, this is where you always should start, in my opinion, until you find it isn't and you need more complex solution. So in next videos, we'll cover other patterns, around 6 to 7 patterns we are covering in this series. So please make sure you look for the playlist where you will find all the recordings, and I'll see you in the next one.